it wasn't until I was introduced to Sarah that my life completely changed. And so Sarah, she was a struggling small business owner, and she started her business because everyone told her to start a business after tasting her pies. But after a couple years of entrepreneurship, Sarah, her dreams, her hopes, her aspirations of being this mega entrepreneur, and they were diminishing really, really fast. The joy of baking pies, it was gone, and it was replaced with the amount of work that needed her attention. It was very, very overwhelming. And she had the worst boss on the planet. Her boss would not give her a day off, but it was at her lowest when she found Michael. Michael had 20 years of experience running small businesses, and he helped Sarah see her biggest blind spot. Sarah was so freaking busy working in her business that it was impossible for her to have the time nor the attention to work on her business. And so when Michael sat Sarah down, first thing he did was he gave her permission to dream and dream big again. And he asked her a really simple question. What would your perfect business look like, Sarah? And then he asked her some follow-up questions like, how much revenue does this business need to make? How much profit? How many employees does your perfect business have? And most importantly, like, what kind of impact do you want to leave behind by having this successful business? And so once Sarah was able to look and get inspired again at her goals and her future, and the reason why she got into business to begin with, the hope started to come back. Once the hope came back, then Michael was able to actually start teaching her about building business systems. Because right now, the system was Sarah, but the reality was that there was a system for everything that she did and that she was doing in her business. And so when Sarah started to realize that she could take everything that she had in her dome, in her brain, and she could put it into a procedure. She put it into a manual. The hope came back. And for the very first time, she could finally see how her business, how it could actually run without her. And when I heard Sarah's story, I was like, that is me all day long. 2 years earlier, I just started my own gym, and I had dreams of becoming a wildly successful business person. And I'll tell you what, they were quickly vanishing. It's funny because I remember leaving the big box gym that I worked at the very last day as I'm getting ready to start my entrepreneurial journey. This was 2013. I remember walking out the door, and I remember like looking over my shoulders, like, I can't believe nobody's stopping me. Like, do they know what I'm about to do? Do they realize how successful I'm about to be? And I remember those thoughts going through my head, and fast forwarding 2 years into my entrepreneurial journey, like, dang, I did not know what I did not know. And I got beat up hard those first 2 years. And again, that confidence, that naiveness, it was gone at that point. But as I started to hear Sarah's story, I got inspired again. I remember that last day when I was at my job, and I remember those feelings of grandiose dreams and big visions. They all started flooding back. They all started coming back to me. And at that moment, I was like excited to get back into my business. I was excited because while I was working my job, which was being a trainer, being a business owner, being a bookkeeper, being all the things that a business has to do, I decided that I was going to start documenting everything, right? I was going to follow what Michael had Sarah do. And I created standard operating procedures for every position that I was currently doing. I developed systems for how I trained clients. I developed a system for how I marketed new clients. I developed systems for how I sold new clients. And so it was that first sales system that I made. The first 5 prospects that came through this new sales system, well, they all said no. But from each no, I felt like I was just getting a little bit closer to that first yes. And then finally, it was prospect number 6 that changed my life. Her name was Heidi, and she actually owned a small business. She actually owned some casinos in town, and she was my first yes. And it was a $600 a month, 3-month program. It was an $1,800 sale. And at that moment, I was like, oh my gosh, Michael, Sarah, thank you guys so much. You completely changed my life. And it wasn't the money that changed my life, but it was now that I had this golden goose, which was a sales system that every single time I put a prospect through it, I could come out on the other end with a client. I could come out with somebody who I could serve, and I could come out with enough money to keep this business going. And so when I started this cleaning business in 2020, I used this framework that I learned from Michael and from Sarah to create my cleaning business sales system. And in the past 11 months, we've had 3 salesmen close 365 new clients with over 50% closing ratio. And I didn't do a single phone call. And so curious, who wants to learn the sales system? If you're a cleaning business owner and you're looking to grow your business, or you're looking to start a cleaning business, I have just the resource for you. See, I did a masterclass on how to build a $1 million cleaning company, even if you have zero cleaning experience. Now, here's the coolest part. I'm making this training absolutely free. Yeah, free. So what you need to do if you want to grow your business or start your cleaning business is you need to click the link down below, put your information in, and if this video is still up, that means that there's still spots. So look forward to seeing you on the inside.